Welcome aboard, all you wonderful groomers, pet stylists, and canine cosmetologists. You found the Traveling Groomers podcast, where we discuss lessons learned from mobile and house call grooming. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Bear Anthony. Any moment now, we'll be joined by my co-host and friend, retired mobile groomer and educator extraordinaire, Mary Oquendo, and very likely a special guest to help us chat about all things grooming, grooming industry related, and just plain fun digressions that I will totally wrangle back to topic. Grab those travel mugs and climb aboard to see where today's topic will bring us. Let's roll! Pet Edge is your provider for professional grooming supplies at great prices. Check their website often for new products, sales, and special offers. For a limited time, save 5% off your order with promo code TRAVELER5. Find what you need to succeed at petedge.com. All right, let's try that again.
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Hey, Mary. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm a little tired, but I'm hanging in there, and we'll talk more about that stuff later because I have topics for today.
Okay. So, what topic would you like to discuss first?
Oof. So first, since this episode is episode number 313, recorded on 12/7, that will be airing on December 31st. Happy New Year's, Mary.
Happy New Year's.
So because of when this is airing, I know everyone's expecting of things like New Year's resolutions, and we're not gonna, but
Nope.
I'm gonna say, what did you get your business for Christmas?
I know that you mentioned that before we got started, and I'm thinking, get my business, something for my business. Okay. So, what does that exactly mean? Get something for my business. Does it mean that if I'm brick and mortar, I'm picking up, like, I don't know, some new wall decoration for it? Does it mean that I'm giving it a spa day? Does it mean I'm going, which could be, what a thorough cleaning top to bottom.
Oh,
Okay.
that shouldn't be a holiday only, though,
No,
situation.
it
That
shouldn't, but maybe we hire someone to come in and do that deep clean for us. I don't know. Is it maybe some new software that makes the business itself run better? I mean, that's really, I'm not going to say vague, but there's going to be a lot of interpretations on it. So I'm thinking, what did I get my business? And I think what I did for my business is I ditched a lot of subscriptions.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm looking at doing that for next year because I may have to do some massive belt tightening, but we're going to
Not,
talk about
and the
another
thing is,
episode
not
on that.
necessarily belt tightening. I mean, streamlining might be a better word. Okay. But it's things I'm not really using that have no value, or they're sort of duplicating something else I'm having that I'm actually using for that. Oh,
Uh,
your
for
face says it
for
all.
those of you who may be watching the video, Alaric was helping me clean because I thought I vacuumed properly, but he did an excellent. Oh, that was my bad. Nope, nope, nope. I thought it was. I thought he was helping me clean. And found some doodle hair that I did not vacuum up. What in fact happened was I forgot to move the trash can that doesn't have a lid on it.
Okay,
So we're going to pause and I'll edit this out.
you go do that, Chris.
Well, I think I know what's on my office's salon's business list or Christmas business list now.
Okay.
And that's a trash can with a lid.
All right.
A a bigger trash can. I have like a tiny waste paper thing by my desk that has a lid, but I don't when I'm grooming and just kind of putting hair in a thing, it's a smaller trash can and it yeah.
All right. So
Sorry,
I
continue.
think it's something that, you know what, our businesses are our livelihood. They make us money. And for, what are you doing for your business? All right. So Chris is buying a new trash can with a lid on it. All right.
Apparently, that's what I'm doing now.
And whereas I've went through a lot of my subscriptions and what's not serving me, I'm getting rid of. I have probably at this point reduced my monthly subscriptions by probably $200 a month.
No, that's nice.
That's nice, and that's not including a couple of the annual ones that were coming up. That again, you know what? I'm not using it to justify the cost of a subscription.
Yeah, yeah, fair. Mine aren't like softwarey things. Mine are the fun stuff that I'm like, the Scentbird subscription was fun, but not only do I have a massive ton of little tiny samples, I don't remember to wear them every day. And I don't like all of them. I mean,
But
it's
yeah,
fun,
I
but
had a
it's,
couple of, Yarn box subscriptions, but I'm just like so past that, you know. They make cute little things, like that. But now that especially my family has realized I've taken the crochet hook up again, they're looking for like really specific things. Can I show you the dragon wing for my daughter's costume? One of the wings.
I know. And I have an extra penis in my house
Really?
that has been crocheted by you.
That you could blame Angie for.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll blame Angie for that. But
She
no,
got one too.
the subscription things are I'm not dissing them because
No, no,
if you
no,
use
not at
them,
all.
fantastic, fun. Like if I have to cancel my Ipsy subscription, there might be real tears because I love my Ipsy subscription.
Yeah, so I have a couple that I have that, you know what? I'm using them, and so there we go. So that's my I think that was I don't think we've ever discussed that. So I think that was, you know, really good topic, Chris. Good
Well,
job.
well, thank you very much. I mean, and it can be anything. It can sometimes we feel like we need to justify things that we buy for our business. And sometimes we feel like we have to rationalize, like, ooh, like the new neck dryer. Um, because there's a couple different ones out on the market and they're really, really, really nifty. But sometimes we feel like we have to justify the new purchase. And it's either, oh, it's for the business, it's fine, or do I really need it? Is this a need? Is it a want?
I think I remember our conversation that we had when you were talking about getting the neck dryer. You remember what I told you, right?
And now my brain is now mooshed. My brain is mooshed.
All right, it's going to make your job easier. It's going to be less stress on your body.
Hmm.
Okay. So all around, that was a really good purchase.
Hmm. So after our first commercial, I'll tell you about my recent business purchase. That was like combination business for the house. Um, and I learned some things the terrifying way.
Yeah, those are
Terrifying
not the
way.
good lessons. Best
No,
to share those so other people don't make the same mistake.
it's fun though. It's funny. It's funny. So, I mean, there's software, there's tools, there is honestly sometimes even getting a connection or learning a new source for things
Yeah.
can be fun, can be amazing. And I have to apologize to Samantha Palia because the she does the enrichment grooming classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it took me forever to get it. And now I'm like, oh, I feel like an ass for not having done this before because I one of my clients is a little um Brussels. Brussels or not? No, little Brussels who gets hand stripped because the owner cares about his coat and cares about like the skin, and he really wants him to keep that Brussels look. But Willie Nelson is not the hugest fan of hand stripping.
Willie Nelson. Okay.
Willie Nelson. And it's one of those dogs that's his last name is not Nelson. That is the dog's full name is Willie Nelson, and then the last name. But um, yeah, he needs some enrichment
Okay.
to help this. And I shared with my client my one of my favorite sources for duck feet. Because while a duck foot, okay, yes, they're disgusting. While a dried, like dehydrated duck foot for my dogs is like a snack, is like they'll eat it like that. For a teeny bitty Brussels, if the dad's holding it, that means his ears got done. It had been like 2 months before since I could strip his ears because he's like, oh, you want to strip by my face? Oh no, you can F all the way off.
Okay.
All of the way off.
Well, that, you
So
know what? I love that class of Samantha.
yeah.
And it is really nice to see better handling techniques now than we ever had when we first started.
Oh,
And that, how much time did that save you? How much
that
aggravation?
saved me so much aggravation.
So then my question for you is, did you have mom and dad buy it, or did you provide it and add it on to the cost of doing business?
You know what? I didn't know if he was going to like it. So what I did was, uh, I'm trying to find the website to send to you. Don't correct my spelling, Google. I said what I said. Uh, so um, I had some and I said, let's see if he's going to like it because dad usually brings a bully stick. So I'm
Okay.
like, look, I will share my dog's bully stick with Willie. He's not going to eat the whole thing. It was a long one. This listen, the stick was longer than Willie.
Okay.
So I wanted to make sure he was going to like it. I had some extra duck feet. I basically was going to give him like 2 duck feet and send him the website for spoiled rotten
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. She's
RAWTTEN
got some
pets.
really nice stuff.
She's got the nice. So he tested it, and I said, I took pictures. I'm like, even when dad brings a bully stick from home, he is not this distracted. He is like, God, this stuff is good. And I like the fact I know where it's coming from. I know who's sourcing it. I know it's not full of crap and it's really, really all natural. So between spoiled rotten pets and bears bites, I know I have good sources for treats.
Yeah.
And actually, if what I'm probably going to do is next year for the holidays is give duck feet to my clients as Christmas presents because that's like a high quality Christmas present. I could buy them in a bucket, put them in cellophane bags with a card. Happy holidays.
Okay. And I'm just gonna the business person over here is just gonna make a comment on this too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now that you know that this dog will kill for this this duck feed, are you gonna have the owners provide it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Now, of course, here's the other option. Now that you're home based.
Hmm.
Why are you not selling it yourself to them?
Because I do not want to store it.
Okay, fair
I,
enough.
I do not want to store it. I do not want to add one more thing to my plate. I am actively working on getting things off of my plate
Okay.
so that I don't rip my hair out. But that is that's, so, dude,
You know,
he thinks doodle hair is great. Hang on, let me hit that first button of the day. For unfortunately, it's a short one, so I won't be able to take care of this entirely, but I'm going to maybe stop him eating some doodle hair. We'll be right back. As a house call groomer, the idea of van and generator maintenance had kept me out of one for years. But Hanvey Engineering and Design has been making mobile grooming vans for 20 years now and has thought of that. No generator to maintain, repair, and replace. No propane to fill or worry about running out in the middle of winter. Hanvey vans have the lowest operating costs out there. I know I'm sold, but check out their latest innovations for yourself at hanvey.com. He's like, but it was my cousin. It smelled like my cousin. It could be. It could be.
all right. So, enrichment, all right, which is something now to consider as a present for your business because it's going to make your life easier. But finding the correct enrichment for the pet on your table. All right.
Can I tell you, licky mats are also awesome depending on the pet.
Again, here's the thing too. If you're going to do these, right, this is going to be part of your business. And I highly recommend that you do. Make sure you factor this into the cost of doing business. And if
Mm-hmm.
you have a setup, sell it as well. Hey, you know what? This is the shop looking mat. He really likes it. He does really well for grooming. Let me suggest that you buy one. Okay.
And I'll send my clients links. I'll send them like Amazon links, links to the small businesses, all of that stuff to make lives easier.
Yeah. I mean, because I did do retail out of my van, but it was food based. Right. So if I
Mhm.
wanted to recommend a comb and a brush, they would get the Amazon link for it. Okay. So now that we've got that tucked away, all right. Um, but the whole gift to your business can very well be continuing education. So
Yep.
programs like Samantha Pallia's, Ashley Hanvey will pay attention to Mary Niskern, who's up and coming. All
Mhm.
right. She's got some, she's putting together a really phenomenal handling program. Okay. Who else off the top of your head? Michelle Knowles, Melissa
Pretty
Jackson.
pretty much check out positive educational training as well. They have a whole bunch of amazing stuff.
Exactly. And some of these teachers have their own channels on positive
Mm-hmm.
ed. Okay. But Angie does a really good job of upcoming topics.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that said, what's the
Uh,
next topic, Chris?
well, oh, so one of the things I got from my business, I said I was gonna go into this. Um, I bought a black light flashlight because I have three cats.
Okay.
I do some in-home grooming now. I'm still mostly house call, but I do some in-home grooming now because I still like the big dogs, but I am not about kneeling in the bathtub
Yeah.
anymore. Like, I'm sorry. No, I don't want to use age as an excuse, but I'm going to say after I hit 50, no, no, all
Well,
day,
and
no.
here's the thing, bending over a tub with a large dog will kill your back.
And
And I
your
don't care
knees.
how old you are.
And,
Okay.
and, and if you're kneeling, even if you're kneeling, you're still bending. So there's
Yep.
just the getting up and down. And once I hurt my ankle, I was like, nope, all the nope.
Yeah. All right.
Hmm.
It's getting up off the knees that maybe maybe there's something soft underneath your knees, but it's still probably a tile floor you're coming up off of.
Yep.
And it's not like a table which you can adjust the height. All right, you can't do that in a tub.
No.
And if the dog decides to go to the other end of the tub, the other side of the tub, and you got to keep constantly pulling them over, yeah, you're gonna feel that.
Well, and the thing is, I can in my tub in my home salon, I can raise and lower it, but no,
Mhm.
if you're doing that, if you're house call, you can't. That's not a normal bathtub. That
Yeah.
yeah, that's a huge no. That's a
And I'm actually
huge no.
surprised at the number of house call groomers that do the large dogs.
I did it a lot. I did it a lot. I mean, I have videos of how I managed to do a Black Russian Terrier in a walk-in shower. Yeah, that was
Yeah, I'm just going like, yeah, that's a really solid no for me.
it was fun. It was fun. It was
Fun for who?
mm, no one
Yeah, yeah.
involved. No
That,
one,
that's
no one involved. That was pure sarcasm.
yeah. Okay.
But oh, so the thing I bought, the black light flashlight, I'm like, this is useful. This is useful. I need this for my house, for my business to just double check things. So what I found out the hard way was that a lot of cleaner residue shows up on black light.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uh I turned and we use like lemon Lysol or Fantastic because when you get like little flying insects or gnats, my husband is like, no, none of that. Just no. I'm not saying infestation level. I'm just saying there's one in the house and it no, cannot abide. But any of the sprays for insects really bother my lungs and we don't want to use them around the critters. So he'll use that because it's a cleaning product and they don't like the lemon. Um, the wall, a couple walls looked like Mary, I was shook. I was shooketh
Okay.
because I'm like, there's no way this is cat pee. There's no way I could go nose blind to that level of shh. No, it was so yes, solid buy for your business. A good thing for any grooming shop to have on hand, especially when you're doing those deep cleans or double checking or why does everybody keep peeing there? But test your cleaners to make
I mean,
sure.
that's a really good point too, because if it's leaving residue on, all right, so you
Mhm.
think about it. If you groom cats or have cats, that could be a problem for the cats. So that Lysol that you're using around your cat,
Not if it's not no longer airborne.
yeah, but if they rub up against it on the wall, they're
Then they're
trans.
flying.
So it's not
It's
ground
not
level.
that no, it's not. There was some a little bit ground level, but no, they're not flying.
All right. So, but the point being is if it leaves a lot of residues, you should know that, especially if you have cats, it can be problematic for cats. Dogs will have more tolerance in the same degree we have tolerance, but keep in mind, if you spray things in the air, they also settle to the lower 15 inches of your house.
Hmm.
And so, Chris, who lives in the lower 15 inches of our houses?
Toddlers,
And
gnomes,
yep.
pets,
All right.
and me when I'm cleaning the litter boxes. That's a joke. My husband cleans the litter boxes. I'm like,
That
oh,
is honestly probably the only reason I don't have a cat in the
uh,
house right now. And that's the litter box.
Oh, we got a brand new automatic litter box
Really? How well does it work?
that I wanted a tricky tray. I don't know yet. I don't know yet because the only place we could put it is in a litter box hider because we have to put it near somewhere to plug in. And I haven't gone in there and checked yet. It's been up about a week. The only problem is I think only one of the cats is using it because I did not necessarily follow instructions because it said when setting it up, put some dirty litter on top so your animals know what it's for. And I'm like, my cats are smart. Oh, my cats are dumb. My cats are dumb.
All right, here's the other issue too with a litter box, regardless of where it is if I have four versions of Chihuahuas, Dachshunds, and Min Pins,
Hmm.
can we say snack time?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's where there's a lot of different litter boxes that the dogs can't necessarily get into, especially your little guys. There are top loading litter boxes that we used for years. Top loading, like you load the cats into it. Now, what you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But they basically look like big storage totes with a
Okay.
top on them and a circle cut out, like a hole cut out of the top. So if you have little dogs, they're not necessarily going to be able to get in there.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. But it's still the smell of a litter box.
When's the last time you've had cats, Mary?
Probably a while.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say it's not as bad as you think. Mostly because if you stay on top of it, the only time it gets really bad is when they immediately go number two and you question all of your life choices because you can imagine what a big pile of doo doo smells like right next to you.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because we've all picked up our dogs. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
that's the
So
problem. It's not
where were
terrible.
we?
Where were we? Black light, test your cleaners and
Okay.
make sure your cleaners are pet safe.
Yes.
There we go.
And again, it's a good time to make mention of it. It is up to the manufacturer to make the determination whether or not it's pet safe. There's no federal agency that oversees that.
Yeah, yeah.
So do
So
your
you
homework.
have to do your research and
Make
your
sure
homework.
it is indeed pet safe.
Yep, yep. Okay, it is time for another button. Bum bum bum. So by now,
Hi. Are you tired of buying cheap shears? Do you want to buy quality shears that are custom fit to your hand, but you're really a little afraid of paying an arm and a leg? Evolution Shears have you covered. No arms or legs required. Come on down, we will custom fit you. We are not the cheapest shears out there, and that is a good thing. Right, Mindy?
Can I have my leg back now?
Maybe?
ta-da. Oh. Oh. So think about what you're doing for your business and what you can give your business for the new year and for the holidays. And I think one of those things, honestly, is going over your policies and procedures and making
Yep.
sure they still suit you
Yeah.
and making sure that you are comfortable with enforcing them. And,
Yeah.
and I think that's the most important one. And how did you even open that drawer? Dude.
All
Oh.
right. And so, here's the thing. You have policies, but yet you don't enforce them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you from experience, the first time you have to enforce it, it's hard. okay, it's probably the hardest thing you're going to do. The second time you enforce it, it's a lot better. All right. The third time is so much easier. By the time you get to the fourth time, this is old hat for you now. All right. You
Mm-hmm.
get to the point where, like, did you just look at me funny? You got to go. Okay.
And
So
that's
you have to, and if you can't, if you really cannot enforce your policies, you have a couple options. You can be miserable in your business because people are walking all over you. All right. Or you could hire someone to enforce your policies. You could have an office manager, or you could have an employee who just doesn't take that kind of crap. Okay. But who you know will enforce the policies. All right. And I know I've told this story 100 times and I'm going to keep repeating it. When I worked corporate, the very same people who walked over the other groomers didn't say boo and did exactly what I told them. The same people.
And I think the problem is when we let things go to the point where we go, if this customer looks at me funny, they're going to be fired. A couple different things are happening. And one is we're putting ourselves under unnecessary stress
Hmm.
because now every time we see this client, they're come out, even if it's a gradual buildup,
Yep.
that's stressing us out. Now, if we let them know that there is a problem before it gets to that point, it's not going to be a surprise to them. And that's another one of the problems is yeah, I may or may not get hate for this, but I've passed the point of caring on a lot of things. I'm very sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But groomers can get a bad rap for doing things like that because think about it from the customer's standpoint. If it's not been a problem prior, they don't know it's a problem.
Yep.
It's like if you let your dog beg at the table, or if you let your dog get away with a bad behavior. And yes, I am comparing clients to training animals.
Yep.
Mm. But if you let them get away with it and all of a sudden company comes over and you yell and scream at them because they're doing the thing they do every damn day,
Yep.
they're going to be confused. If you've let it go on and on and on and never even mentioned to them that there is a policy in place for this, then there's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
A-
So, and I do agree with that, that you should be upfront with your policies. Clients need to know what your policies are and you need to enforce them from day one. Okay. That's not to say that a true emergency comes up, all right, that you don't cut them some slack.
That's part of the problem with not telling them because you don't know if something that sounds like complete and utter bullshit is a true emergency if it's the 15th time they've done it.
Yep.
And you're still done. You're still done. You're still out of money. You're like, I've let this slide 15 times when maybe you should have let it slide 2 or 3 times
Or
and
no,
then
you let it
started.
slide one time, you remind them
Yeah.
that this is their get out of jail free card and that it cannot happen again.
And I've had that conversation with clients because it was the first time there was an issue. The first time or if it wasn't bad, because I know I have stuff that comes up. Sometimes I have to take care of family. I've had times where I'm like, my mom just got carted off to the hospital for something. I need to reschedule you. So I want to give them the same look. There's an emergency, kind of flexibility, but let them know that this is a thing because you never know how clients are going to react. And if
This
you're
is
on the
this is
verge
where
of
I'm going to
farming them
throw some
anyway.
blame on groomers too. Okay? Because
Mhm.
now you have a pet that is giving you a hard time. Okay? But you're not conveying that to the owner. Right? And
Yes, can we
then
make telling the owners the truth normal?
yes. All right.
Please. Yes.
Then now the groomer gets to the point where they've had enough because they haven't said anything to the pet owner. Okay. Then I don't know how many calls I got that started off with the conversation. Something must have happened at the groomers because she's always been good. She's never been bad. So something must have happened on the groomer. So it's the groomer's fault when it was more likely that this has been an ongoing problem for a long time, but their policy there, and this is where you got to go look over your policies, please, that tell the owners the truth. They need to know the truth about their pets.
Hmm. And let me tell you, the first time you enforce a no-show fee that is the cost of the groom. Yeah, I
Yes.
said it, the full price of the groom. Because especially when you're house calling mobile, there is nothing like showing up at a house, especially when you have keys for it. This happened to me twice. And I got a no-show fee for at least once, one of them. The other one, they were like, oh no, and ran and got the dog. But they forgot to tell me they were going on vacation. They had a regularly scheduled appointment. It was every X amount of weeks on a Tuesday, like clockwork. That was their appointment. And I had a garage code and I am freaking out because I can't find the dog. I'm now in places of your house. You may or may not want me because I'm panicked because there's no dog here. And I'm like, hey, where's Oakley? And yes, but you're either done for the day, on for your to your next appointment early, and you're getting the same amount of money because at that point, when you're house calling mobile, if you're at their house, you can't fill that spot.
Nope.
Like there's very little chance, even if you find out like that morning, that you can't fill that spot.
And here's the thing. Even if they tell me that morning, I'm okay with that. All right. Because it does give me a window to either reschedule my day so that either I'm either starting later or I'm finishing earlier, or maybe I'm taking an extended lunch and I'm going to sit down at a restaurant and I'm going to have a real sit down lunch.
Mhm.
But by letting me know before I leave the house, okay, that gives me that opportunity to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is where policies come in. All right, policies and procedures. Now, my procedures was, all right, the night before to remind them, hey, okay, they usually didn't get their appointments anyway until 2 weeks ahead of time. The night before, hey, I'm coming tomorrow, 10 o'clock or whatever time I'm coming. And at that time, they go, oh crap, I forgot. And they tell me, oh crap, I forgot. Okay, all right. What can we do about this? See, if I can move you around a little bit or whatever. Okay. I've had very few not, showing up to someone's house and they're not there. Very, very few. And usually they are brand new customers who, even though they got the reminder the day before or the night before, they still no showed me.
That happened really early in my grooming career. And it was a brand new customer. And it was one of those, I didn't collect a cancellation fee because I was never going to see them again. There was no way for me to get it. They were just like, we decided to go another way or something. Just no, that wasn't happening. But the thing that killed me about it was they had a bunch of stairs and I'd already lugged all of my equipment to the top of
Oh
the
God,
stairs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So know what your policies are and figure out how you're going to enforce them. Because I didn't always have policies, Chris. Not
Oh yeah,
always.
no, when a lot of times when I know when I started, some people have a better, stricter business sense and didn't learn things the hard way, like me, but you just kind of go. You just kind of like do it.
Hmm. So the
But
point being is, uh, Chris and I are both telling you this from experience. Okay.
uh-huh.
So the first time I've only ever had to enforce the no-show policy 3 times. Okay. And in 2 instances, they paid it and they never did it again. All right. The third one, I knew I was going to lose them, but I was okay with them. I
And
didn't like
that's
the dog. I didn't like the dog. They were condescending. They were whatever, but they paid it.
and that's the thing with enforcing this policy, I think is why a lot of people don't or are afraid to because they don't want to lose the customer.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. If that customer doesn't respect me, and that's what they're telling you by, by having a no, by having a no-show as a house call or mobile when you show up to their house and they're not there. That is whether or not they mean it, a lack of respect. Even in a shop, you made an appointment, you're taking up a professional's time, no show, no call is a lack of respect.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily want to deal with them. So I'm okay with losing them, with never seeing them again if they don't want to pay.
Yep.
And that's something you have to come to terms with. And it can be absolutely crushing the first time you do it because it's terrifying and you're like, oh, but you replace them with someone who gives a damn about you.
Yes.
And that's what people don't get. Like you're that customer that is giving you grief, that every time you see them, you're anxious, you're irritated at something because you're not addressing it with them.
Yeah. Am I grooming this dog for free today
Mhm.
or what?
Mhm. And I know we've talked about happy prices before, but I'm going to tell you they work.
Oh yeah. Look, they work.
They really work because there will be a price and you're like, okay, they're not annoying anymore. They weren't that annoying. It's something I could live with. All of a sudden they're not annoying.
Yeah, yeah.
It's magic.
And also by determining, and sometimes your happy price can change from dog to dog to dog. Okay. And once you realize that happy prices are a thing and you can utilize it as a business tool, it's going to make your life so much happier because
It
it'll
really
also
is.
then weed out the people who you really don't want to, that you don't want to groom.
Mhm.
If there really isn't a happy price, no matter how you look at it.
And speaking of happy prices, when's the last time? I know people don't want to do this before the holidays, but when's the last time you've had a price increase? Because everything else is going up and it's terrifying.
Yeah,
Like,
my increases always coincided on April 15th. Well, that was actually my start date, by the way, April 15th, tax day.
tax day.
And I always blamed it on my accountant. Always.
I did too. I did too. It was great. And I lost a customer over that once because I didn't okay, let's talk about something. There is annual, biannual, semi-annual, every so couple years price increases of a couple bucks. And then there is the oh shit, I'm severely undercharging. I have to up my prices 40, 50 bucks.
Yeah. And that's a tough place to be. And when you realize that you are that undercharging to fix that, by the
Oh
way.
no, it is. And I've done it. And the one client I really lost on that was a double doodle household. And I was okay
Oh,
with that.
did you really lose on
No,
that one?
no, I did not lose. I didn't lose anything. I no longer had them as a client, but it was a win because they were replaced with better dogs because one of them was all right. He was all right. And the other one was a COVID doodle. And I think it was a Bernedoodle too. It wasn't like a typical golden doodle. It was a COVID puppy, and oh God, it was no, no, no. Anywho's positive. It's time to hit a button. Back in 30 seconds or 15 or a couple. I don't know.
Pet Edge is the pet professional's choice for supplies and equipment from top brands. Check their website for new products, sales, and special offers. For a limited time, save 5% off your order with promo code TRAVELER5. Find what you need to succeed at petedge.com.
That wasn't long. And that's a good place to check for your business's next Christmas present.
Yeah.
That and Evolution Shears. Just saying, just saying.
Okay. So getting back to policies and procedures. Okay. So my recommendation is always before you groom a pet is to do a snout to tail assessment on the pet. And even if you don't do a full one, all right, these are the couple of things you want to look for. You want to watch them walking. All right. Are they limping? Are they favoring a leg? Okay. Are they lethargic? Is there discharge on their eyes or nose? On cats, respiratory diseases are highly contagious. All right. I personally have 4 dogs at home, and at any point during when I was actively grooming, I've had anywhere between 4 and 6 dogs in my house. I do not want to bring home anything contagious to the animals that for me.
Yes.
Okay, that's number one. Okay. Um, when you put your hands on a pet, all right, I will guarantee you they know where it hurts. All right. So if you're rubbing your hands over their bodies, okay, watch for body language because they know where it hurts. Okay. And if you check one thing and one thing only, that is gum color. All right. Gums should be nice and healthy pink. If they are not that, this is a pet that should not be groomed. This pet is not healthy enough to be groomed. Okay. Red gums can be the signs, the early stages of heat stroke. It could also be poisoning. All right. Yellow, jaundice, liver failure. This pet probably should have been at the vet months ago.
Yeah.
Blue, purplish. Okay. Hypoxia, trachea issues. All right. And then the granddaddy of them all, pale gums. If gums are pale, this is a pet that needs to be at a veterinarian. It's poor blood flow. Something is happening in the body. It can be the signs of a heart attack, the early signs of a heart attack. It could be any number of chronic medical conditions that is involving maybe there's an internal bleed somewhere. Okay, but regardless, and on any of the dogs that I groomed, especially the senior pets, gums were checked throughout the groom. Okay. So that should be, if you think you don't have time to do a snout to tail assessment on every single pet that comes into your care, literally, how long does it take you to do one, Chris?
Oh, on a dog I know well, maybe a minute, probably,
Maybe a minute.
maybe more like 30, 40 seconds.
Yeah, that's all it takes. And on a client that's new, maybe you want to spend a little more time. Maybe you're up to a minute and a half doing that. All right. If you don't think you have the time to that, ask yourself, do I have the time to deal with a social media backlash and dealing with that on an issue that I could have prevented had I just simply not groomed the pet?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm still looking for that video to
Okay,
send
so
you.
Chris and I had a conversation before we got started because there was something on in one of the forums about a dog that during somehow time during the groom. Oh, hold on.
Well, it's
Volume.
not.
That sometime during the groom, something internal popped, the tumor popped, and they started to bleed out. Okay.
Well, I don't know. And I'll send you this here we go. I found a video from the same person. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody started to bleed out. I don't know what happened. I don't even know if gum color would have been an issue there, but everything was fine in the morning. The dog was fine. Um, and this one, the owner is saying how much the groomer really loved him, and she's not blaming the groomer for it, but the dog was only there like 2.5 hours, and this was a big doodle. Fine in the morning, she picked him up. He wasn't right.
Yeah, the thing is, it can happen quickly, and from what information that I can gather online, that the gum colors can change anywhere from a matter of minutes to a couple of hours, depending on why there's blood loss or shock.
And oh, she actually checked the gum color on the dogs when she got them home, and she said they were pink and normal.
Okay.
They were pink and normal because so things like this can happen really, really quickly.
Like,
Yeah. So now the owner is like feeling poopy for doing a live on TikTok because she thought the dog was being dramatic and pouting because he was a little bit off. And she's like, maybe I quicked a nail. And then when she checked him later, the gums were white. She did check gum color again.
okay.
So yeah, these things can happen really, really quickly on a dog. So in this case, yes, gum color is something we should be checking if behavior changes. But in this case, that wouldn't have even been an indication for this poor groomer and family. Oh,
So,
it took me forever to find that. Found it.
okay, so the point being is you still keep an eye on the pet. If pets are in your care,
Mhm.
and while they're in your care, you should be aware of their health.
And I felt,
That should be in your policies too. You know what? Groom is over when I, as the professional, say the groom is over because either it's unsafe for me, it's or unsafe for the pet.
mhm. And that was actually one of the concerns I had with one of the clients I had a couple weeks ago that uh, texted me as I was about to get in the car to go to her house that, oh, she saw some worms or something in the dog stool. So she's taking him to the vet now. And yeah, normally that would be an emergency and I wouldn't charge her for anything. But she does this all the time. Not necessarily, the dog's emergency, but
There's
look,
always an
it's
emergency.
always an emergency. It's always a scheduling or this came up or that came up in the work, and it's all of the time. And I have never charged anything before. And it's never been so same day that I even had to mention my policy. But I had a fed up moment. And did I handle it 100% right? Probably not.
Did she pay
But
it?
eventually, she did eventually pay it. She didn't pay the entire amount because, and this is where I compromised. She didn't pay the entire amount because it was the first time I was enforcing it. And the first time I was like, hey, here's a problem. She paid $100, which considering her groom was close to 200, I thought was fair because my entire day no showed that day for various emergencies. And and one of them was oh crap, I forgot. So no, they also paid. But they got it. They were like, nope, nope, nope. This was my bad. This was but no, she eventually paid it.
Okay. Will she do it again?
She don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
And this time, and I did tell her I normally charge the entire cost of the groom. So yeah, she will either not do it again or I will get an entire groom free. And I'm okay with that too.
Okay.
I'm okay with that too. So yeah, I felt terrible for that owner. I felt horrible for that groomer because here's the thing. The gum color wasn't showing. The only thing that the dog was like a little lethargic or pouting. And if it's a doodle that doesn't like stuff and you're struggling, and I'm not saying any of this happened, I don't know what happened. If the dog has a big enough tumor internal, it's going to burst. And part of the reason this was hard, because I had this happen to one of my personal dogs, where I had a Shar-Pei mix. And no, I mean, smooth coated breed, not even short coated, smooth coated breed. You'd think if he had a tumor, I'd have seen it. Nope, nothing external was showing. Nothing external was showing. He had some skin issues that I was working on, and he was fine until he wasn't. And it was all in one day where he went down. Like literally, I left in the morning for a groom and I went, oof, he's not seeming himself. And this was like 2 days before Hershey. Like, oh, he's not seeming himself. I'm going to go away for the weekend. I better take him to the vet today. By the time I got, and I made it, he had a vet appointment. By the time I got him to that appointment a couple hours later, I was carrying him in and I did not carry him back out.
You know, Spirit. Spirit had an anal tumor. We knew he had an anal tumor because he was kind of prone to like anal cysts. Okay. And they discovered an anal tumor on him when he had a cyst. And they're like, we can't operate. This is on a younger dog, a dog without health concerns. We could have operated to remove this. But he was already having seizures. He was on seizure medication. Nothing they can do. And I remember my vet telling me, watch gum color.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to burst. And when it does, his gums are going to go pale. Okay. And that's what we did towards the end. I mean, I was literally checking his gum colors like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 10 times a day until they went pale. And then we went over to the vet.
Mm-hmm. So, oh, and also this doodle was 13 years old.
Yeah. Spirit was only 11. So,
Mm-hmm.
anywho, back on
Yeah.
topic.
Oof, oof. No, I mean, no, that's a topic that is on topic that is absolutely related because these things happen fast.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was starting to say was we know doodles give us hard times for stuff. Not all doodles, but he could have started acting just a little off at the groomer. And I probably would have gone, oof, oh, wow. Maybe he tired out. Oh, he's finally letting me do his nails. He tired out. Or he's pouting because the mom even said that she thought he was pouting. He's a very dramatic boy. Was. So it's rough. So what are when we're redoing our paperwork,
Okay, yes.
What about taking them to the vet? Do you have a part in your paperwork saying, please list your dog's vet in case of an emergency? Because how many of us mobile and house callers have keys or garage codes?
Mm-hmm.
And we may notice something. I had that issue with a client where the dog they thought she was just in heat. They're like, oh, she's on her period. Dude, she had a uterine prolapse. And she'd probably had been having it off and on for a while
Yeah.
because they'd had, and it was an older couple. They'd canceled a couple times because she was bleeding badly, and it was out, and by the time they got her to the vet, it was back in, and the vet was like, oh, it was,
Oh, God, I hate those freaking vets
oh, I
because
hate
not presenting at the time it's happening.
it's not
Yeah,
presenting at the time it was happening.
not presenting at the time it was happening. So therefore, as pet owners or groomers, we don't know what we're talking about because we're too stupid. All right. And then the pet ends up dying on something that probably could have been treated had the
Mm-hmm.
vet just taken the groomer or the owner seriously. I lost a dog, lost a dog, not me, but a client lost her dog that way because the vet was not paying attention and not listening because at the time it was at the vet, it wasn't presenting.
Yeah. And it's hard. And I don't want to blame vets. I don't want to fall into the trap that because we get mad at vets for blaming groomers. So I don't want to do the same thing. It's not all vets. We don't know what was
No,
going
no, it's
on.
not all vets. It's just certain vets
It's
who
certain
don't
vets.
listen to when somebody is telling them about a pet that they're living with every single day, okay, is
Mhm.
presenting as something and they're not paying attention. They're not.
And whether it is with people doctors or vets, because I've
Mm,
had this issue with human doctors as well. I know a lot of us do not like confrontation. It is not fun. But when it comes to advocating for ourselves or our loved ones, whether those other loved ones or family members have two or four legs, we need to speak up. And if they are not listening to us, maybe the vet or doctor down the street will.
yes. Okay. And I don't think there's a single woman who is listening to this podcast who cannot say, well, oh, yeah, the doctor didn't listen to me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I had when I moved up here, the only problem with living in an area like this is like all the good doctors are like in Seattle. Okay. We're the rural hospital, and sometimes they have office hours up here, but for the most part, they don't. And still need a general doctor. All right. So I had a really good one. She listened to me. We just everything. And then she goes, you know what? I'm going up to Alaska for a little while. See you around. Okay. And so then they assigned me another doctor. And not saying because this one was a guy, but he wasn't listening to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, you know what? I stood up for myself and I requested another doctor. And now I have a good one again. You know what? One that listens, a
Yes.
general practitioner that listens and says, you know what? I think you need to see somebody in a specialty in this.
And I just had a flashback. About my ankle, and I ruptured a ligament or tendon or something, bust tendon. But years prior, I went to a podiatrist and I said, my ankle is really bothering me and I'm trying to exercise, but my ankle hurts. So, what's going on because I want to exercise and, I want to lose weight. And for those of you not watching, I will describe this, or Mary will describe this in a moment. Mary, the bitch, looked at me in the face and said, Oh, you need to stop exercising this muscle.
The hand to mouth.
And I looked at him and I was stunned. Stunned. I didn't say anything to his face because I was too shocked. All I could think of, and I remember thinking this in the moment, was the punk just rolled his rolly chair out of kicking range. He's out of kicking range. He clearly did that on purpose. And yes, I reported this was in a practice that had some specialists in it, and I reported him.
Good for you.
I said, this is what happened. I came here. You know what? As a woman who's been overweight most of her life, sorry, YouTube. No, I'm not going to say it because all I want to do is scream. I know. I flippin' know. I know. I've always known I was fat. I was heavy. I get it. You don't. I understand doctors need to have a conversation at some point. But dude, I actively came to him saying, I am trying to exercise. I don't like exercise. Clearly, I don't like exercise, but I'm trying.
Well, and here's the thing too.
Vicious mockery is not the way to
No.
help.
Well, and here's the thing. The reason I think that I was able to more easily stand up for myself was because of my husband. Because he's one of these who doesn't, and okay, go back to his mother. He would accompany his mother to the doctors because she would lie to them and he would correct her. Okay? Because it was important that the doctor knew all the things that was really going on so that the doctor can treat his mother properly. And then he'd go to the doctor and not tell them the symptoms that he had because it wasn't all that important. And I would go with him and do the same thing to him that he would do for his mother.
Mhm.
Now, how freaking ironic.
Oh, yeah. You want to hear a funny mom story? I know I tell my mom stories all the time. I got her to be honest at a doctor, and then I'll hit a button because I think we're behind again. It was for her hearing aid that she doesn't need, by the way. Totally doesn't need. Forget the audiologist said she had moderate to severe hearing loss. She doesn't need the hearing aid. And we went in, and it was the first checkup after she got the new hearing aids, and the woman went, "So how is it going?" And I could tell the lie was going to come out of her mouth because she's like a people pleaser and doesn't like and doesn't really like doctors and all of this stuff. And I just looked at her and said, "Tell her the truth or she's going to turn it up to full blast." I hate it. Everything's too loud. Boom, shot out of her mouth. I've never heard her be so honest with a medical professional before. It was hysterical. All right. I am hitting a button there, Mary.
Finding good help can be hard, but finding an assistant for our grooming business that understands grooming can seem impossible. Fear not, Internet Staffing Solutions are here to help. Founded by nationally certified master groomer Lisa Metz, they'll recruit, train, and manage pet care virtual assistants who understand the unique demands of groomers, vets, and pet industry professionals. Check them out at internetstaffingsolutions.com today.
Mary. All right. So we covered a lot. We're almost there on time. We're not. We went over because we kind of that whole thing with the with the tumor bursting on that doodle. I felt so awful for everyone involved, and it was a little bit triggering because it totally reminded me of my guy. What are you eating? And Alaric is being extra today. But so one of the things that was on our list to talk about was refreshing our first aid kits.
Oh, God, yes. Yes, yes, yes. How much time do we have? I mean, we're over already.
5 minutes. 5 minutes. Quick rundown.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me get my first aid kit up. Where are you? Okay, I got my kit up. Do you want me just to go briefly over the things
Yeah.
in the kit and why they should be in the kit?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go alphabetical order because that's how I got the list. Activated charcoal in a pill. It absorbs ingested and poisons. Now, here's the thing. Anything that you are using for a poison, you have to have a vet tell you to use it because what helps in
Yes.
one will cause harm in another. I really want to emphasize that. Okay. Antibiotic cream for wounds. Avoid triple antibiotic if you have cats, if you groom cats, because while it's a rare allergy, it can be a fatal allergy for those cats that are allergic to it. An antihistamine and a safety pin for allergic reactions. Again, now this is something, again, that if you're having a pet ingest, you want to be under veterinarian supervision. Okay. You want the active ingredient is diphenhydramine. It's a gel cap, the one with the liquid in the center. Use a safety pin to puncture it and apply directly to the tongue or gums. And I am not even giving you dosage information here because you want to be under veterinarian supervision. Okay.
Yes.
Smartphone apps. Okay. Especially mobile and house call. They have vet locators on them. All right, so that signed paperwork that you have being able to take a pet to a vet, you know, you want to know where you can bring the pet to, because maybe that vet that's even across the street may not either be open or have any
Yep.
availability. Okay. Baking soda, because it will neutralize topical poison. So if they get something on their skin, baking soda can help absorb that. All right. Band-aids, tons of them for you. You're going to use them. Bandanas, they can serve as triangular bandages, slings, or restraints. Expired gift cards to either cushion paw pad injuries or to remove bee stingers. Eye wash flushes both eyes, and it's actually a really good wound rinse too, by the way, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's basically just saline solution.
Yeah. Okay. Honey, gauze, rolls, pads, and nonstick pads. I like the nonstick pads, but they're expensive. So if I'm doing a boo-boo, I'm going to put a nonstick pad on first and then cushion it with the cheaper regular gauze. Honey
Yeah.
packet, hypoglycemic pets, again, only under veterinarian directions because ketone acidosis and hypoglycemia actually kind of look the same as far as symptoms are concerned. Okay. Um, Ice can slow bleeding. All right. If your house cold, that's not in your first aid kit. That's in your client's
It's in
freezer.
your client's freezer. Yes.
If you're mobile, maybe you have, I don't know, that ice drink you got. Okay. But that's as close to ice as you're going to get. But they do make ice packs.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say the ice packs that you like bust some of those chemical ice packs,
Yep.
they're single use. You break the thing in the middle, it gets cold immediately. There you go. Those are also good for hematomas. Like if you had to shave ears and you're like, you've warned them that this is a danger, but it's starting. That can also help.
Liquid bandage, effective, but it's risky. You want vet under veterinarian supervision, because in some states, using liquid bandage, and I mean liquid bandage, I don't mean super glue or crazy glue, is considered practicing veterinarian medicine, and there's a right and a wrong way to do it. You should have muzzles, plastic baggies to collect any vomit or fecal sample, rubber gloves, protect you from any liquids. Okay.
By the way, if you don't have plastic bags to collect that, you have poop bags. Poop bags work.
Yep. SAM splits, SAM, they're multiple supports for injured limbs that they just mold right around an injured limb. Sanitary napkins can help absorb blood very efficiently. Wort bottle, if you have to administer hydrogen peroxide to dogs, hydrogen peroxide is to induce vomiting in dogs, never cats. Again, under a vet's guidance, because if it was caustic and burned on the way down, if you induce vomiting, you're going to burn the throat on the way back up again. Okay. Styptic powder, this is for nails only. This is not for wounds. Please do not use this on open wounds.
Yes.
And if you doubt me, the next time you get a paper cut, just put a little styptic powder on it, and then you tell me whether or not it's okay to use on a wound.
Yeah, that's an owie. That's an owie.
Tea bags contain tannic acid. It will help stop bleeding way better than sugar. Vet wrap, or the human equivalent. The human equivalent is a lot cheaper than the veterinarian equivalent. It's the same exact thing. It helps to secure wounds, but you want to remove daily to prevent constriction. All right, constriction to the point that you could turn it into a tourniquet. And wound cleanser. So the best solutions are sterile saline solution, that's eye wash. Anything that is chlorhexidine based, or my personal favorite, which is Vetericin, safe for all animals. Please don't use peroxide or alcohol to clean out a wound.
Ow. Ow. Well, the peroxide doesn't hurt. Alcohol will absolutely hurt.
Okay, so there's your updated pet first aid kit.
There you go. There we go. So let's hit that last button. I love being a house call groomer, but I hate doing laundry or worrying about asking my clients for fresh towels. Raypet has solved those problems for me with the Wet Pet disposable towel. Taking up much less space than traditional cotton towels and easy to wring out and reuse, these super soft, comfy, absorbent towels eliminate any cross-contamination concerns between pets. And now their new smaller washcloth size can even help those sensitive eye areas. Great for cleaning out wrinkles gently and thoroughly. Need to keep water bowls for your clients on hand that are easy to disinfect, but hate all the room traditional clanky metal bowls take up? Or just have a very active pet? Their collapsible silicone bowl comes with an aluminum D-ring hook that can be attached to your pet's leash or anywhere else in your van for easy storage. You can get one by itself or in their handy travel kit, along with a set of 3 tick removers and 1 small wet pet towel. So stop by their website to check it out, raypet.net, and tell them the Traveling Groomer sent you. All right, Mary. It is about that time. And by the way, because I haven't said it before at all this episode, if you're listening, that means you made it through. You survived the holiday season of 25. We survived 2025. Yay. It was a year. It was a year. And I almost hesitate to say that since we're recording and we still have a couple weeks left. So fingers crossed I didn't just jinx anything, but yeah, there we go. Mary, if I die, don't air this episode if I didn't survive.
Okay.
Unless somebody wants to pay you a lot of money for the final podcasting episode. Then, yeah, go for it.
Okay.
But
Will do.
all right. So One of the things we are going to talk about in upcoming episodes is handling work and home stress and how to balance the two, because I've always said if work is great, you can usually handle home stress, depending on the type and depending on what's going on at home. If work is stressful, everything better be nice and calm at home. If you have a family emergency during the holiday season, that's that's extra. And that's hard. And I don't want to, I want to acknowledge it while it's seasonal and say, we'll talk about it and do a deeper dive in another episode, because I know we talk about burnout in terms of work a lot, but we don't usually do the whole work-life balance. What if work is fine and it's home that is making you absolutely lose all of your patience and shiza? That could also be a thing.
Okay.
All right. So anything else? Are we saying goodbye in this episode to 2025?
Yeah, 2025 is over and done. It's in the books. Probably sometime this week, I'm gonna start looking at to what next year for those who know I have tarot and cards and crystals and yada yada yada.
I don't know what happened there either. The last little teensy eensy bit of our recording got cut off. I would love to blame Zoom. I'm pretty sure my finger slipped, but we were wrapping up. If you are super invested, the last couple minutes is in the audio recording wherever you find podcasts. But anyway, I did want to take a moment to say goodbye to 2025 and to really thank you guys for sticking with us through this year. I'm not going to be sad to see this particular year in the rearview mirror. It was a little bit of a doozy. We've had worse, we've had better, but on to bigger and brighter. And we will see you on the flip side in 2026. Safe travels and happy grooming, guys. Bye. Well, that was fun, but now it's time to head home. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed chatting with you. If there are any topics you'd like us to discuss or guests you want to see join us on this crazy road trip of ours, let us know in the Traveling Groomers Facebook page. Don't forget to thank our sponsors. And see you next week, guys. Safe travels.